Hi, today we're going to be looking at how to mark an exam attempt and view a user group's exam progress. So this is going to be from the admin point of view. There is another video if you're an educator. So when an exam's been sat, you can access it from multiple different ways. So as an admin, I have this handy exams window here, so I can see all the exams that have been made on platform. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this Springfield marking exam. So I click on it, and once it's been completed by users, or if it's still in progress but there are some submitted attempts, it's time to mark it. So I scroll down the submenu here, and I want to go to my users tab. From here, I can see all of the attempts that are submitted but unmarked. Once you start marking, you'll go through the various states until you can release those results. So I'm going to select Millhouse's attempt here. Once selected, I'm going to click this little mark attempt button, and that's going to open up the marking modal. As we can see here, I can view their responses and give them feedback on MCQs, but I can't actually mark those MCQs. So you can leave feedback for the student there that will show up. So this is some feedback, read the question carefully. So I can save that as I go. If I just come out of this really quickly and refresh here, we can see that the marking state has moved from unmarked to in progress. So anyone can go back at any time and change it and make alterations. So I'm going to go back into the marking modal. I'm not too bothered about the questions that the system's marked itself, but you can see here that I've got a question that wasn't a file upload. I can access the file that the student's done there. I can download it and view it. So we've got a little audio file there, and that's what the question asked for. You'll see this question is quite unique, and it's got a mark scheme, so you can build mark schemes on the questions. So for grammar, well, there wasn't really any marks to award for there, but I shall give them all. Knowledge, they knew what the format was, and on analysis, I'm happy with that too. So this was perfect. Well done. Well done. Right, so can carry on going through. We can just be very generous with the marks on this example. Save that as we go. Got another question here. These ones have got no mark scheme. So unless you enable a mark scheme, it's just going to look like this. So a great answer. We've got to this one here. Can go for 12. Bit more info needed. Save as we go. So once I'm happy with that, I think I've got one more at the bottom there actually. Yes. So again, another mark scheme one. So we're going to go through and we're going to say this. If you try and give something over like that and save it, you're going to get an error on there. So it must match that. You can't give more than what's been set on the question. So sure, we'll give you 4, and we'll save that. All right, so once you've gotten rid of all the blue dots here, you'll see all the questions have now moved to mark. So I can close that, and I've got a completed status here. Now, while it's in its complete status, it's actually still eligible to be changed. So if you're not sure about anything or you want someone to have a second pair of eyes, they themselves can go back into that attempt and mark it, or you can share that URL with them there and they can mark it from there. Remember, they must have the correct permissions, so that'll work for any admin, but if an educator isn't moderating that group, they won't be able to do it. So I'm just going to close that. I'm pretty happy with those marks for him. If I want to preview what the results will look like, I can go into their score there. You can see it's locked at the moment because we haven't released them, but I can view as an admin and I can see what his results page will look like. So I need a few more results released to get all the analytics to load. He'll have his subject topic and subtopic breakdown, and I can see here all of the questions and where I've left any feedback. The student will be able to view the mark scheme, see exactly where they got those marks, as well as my markers comments. So really handy to just make sure you're happy with how that results page is going to look. So I'm going to just go back to where I was. So when you're ready, and you can do this on bulk if you have multiple exams in the same state. I've only got one that's been marked for now. I am just going to finalize those marks. So if you want to finalize the marks and have more in the finalized state before you release them all together, you can do. But once it's finalized, no one can go back and make any changes to those marks. They're locked in for all intents and purposes. So selecting his again, once it's finalized, it can now be ready to be released. So I'm going to use this little release results button. And Millhouse will get an email saying, your results have been marked. And when he goes back on to his exam, he'll have a view results button and he'll be able to see that page, and we can see that it will be no longer locked anymore. And so he's completed the exam, he can view the results, and he can go and see exactly what's happened there. So that's the basics of marking from the admin point of view. The other way you can access it is if you go into the user group. So I'm just going to find that Springfield group. I'm going to go and have a look at what exams they've been sitting, and I can access it from here. It's the exact same thing, it's just a slightly different path to get to. And if you're an educator, you must follow those steps. And that's pretty much it for marking on Synap.